Hello guys, this is LaDeja Roberts and I'm doing a video on my sociology class for my Unit 3 assignment. So where I live is in a neighborhood, and right down the street of my neighborhood I live close to a Walmart and Home Depot, and my home, we moved here when I was 5 years old. As you can see from the front, we have renewed the porch a little bit, but it's still in work in progress. So I live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and that's my home. These are my parents' cars. My dad owns a 2008 Lincoln. And then my mom, she owns a 2010 Dodge Journey. And then there's my baby, my Ford Escape, which is a 2005. But before I got this car, I have owned this town and country minivan. I know it's in rough shape, but it has gotten me to point A to point B throughout high school. But this one is a 2009. So if we go in the back, my parents do a little bit of their own thing. So here's my mom's studio. She does beadwork. A lot of times this is her own little shed where she can work in peace. And then there's also my dad's studio, who owns his own studio production with music, along with his own print and press job. So this is my brother, Zion. Zion, what do you do, bro?
Nothing. Go to school.
So you're a student?
I'm a student.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 13.
Do you want to do anything? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a game designer or a game creator.
Alright, that's what's up. And then I have my other brother. Now, we're in the Dodge 2010, with my mom. Say hey, mama.
Hi.
Isn't she beautiful, y'all? So, Mom, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What do you do for work?
I work for the state.
Okay.
I work for I work at a call center. So if somebody needs to file for unemployment, they call and they'll speak to one of my team members. That's basically what I do. I help out.
Okay. What were you doing before you got this job?
I used to work at another call center, but they laid us off because they went to a different location. So, but I've been with this job for quite some time.
Do you say you enjoy your job?
I do. I really do, because I love the people.
That's good. One more question, Mom, and I'll leave you alone.
Okay.
You worked your way up to own this house, because I know before we used to live in Durham and...
Projects.
Oh.
So, this house was a blessing. I was determined not to move into another apartment. I was determined not to be considered the lower class. So, I worked my tail off, jobs and everything, to make sure. And then one day I just said I was fed up, lower class. So,
What class do you think you are now?
I think I'm society standards or my standards?
As a view of society, Mom, economic and standards.
Society standards, I'm not poor. I probably am what they consider the middle class.
Middle class? At least you pay your taxes, right?
Of course.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere, right? I pay my taxes every year. So, I mean, it's all new for us. Alright, you guys, this is Andrew. This is my boyfriend. As you can obviously see, he's in the military. Okay, so, babe, what is your MOS?
37 Fox Psychological Operations.
And what is an MOS?
Military Occupational Specialty.
When did you join?
August 18th, 26th.
16?
Yeah, 26th.
Alright. So, how would you say our relationship has evolved since you've been in the military?
Evolved?
Yeah.
It has its ups and downs, but it's been great. I enjoyed every moment of it. Almost.
Okay, and you're about to get promoted, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hey, to what?
Specialist.
Is that a good thing?
It's a great thing.
Okay, so just for society purpose, how do you think people view you when you're in uniform?
Some people hate it, a lot of people love it. Just depends on how you feel about the idea of someone going overseas, shooting someone else.
So you think you have a duty to perform?
I think that what I'm doing is probably for the greater good.
To maintain, equal balance?
To let's keep us from any future sort of invasions that may come along the way. Go ahead.
So, I forgot to ask you earlier, but how is the military structured?
It's structured by, so there's two different types of officers. There's non-commissioned officers, which are your standard NCOs. They are sergeants and, sergeant first class,
Commander?
staff sergeant, sergeant major. It just continues to go up from there to like E9. And then there are your officers. There's the warrant officers, which they got a specialized school for, which I know nothing about. There's regular officers, to which they go to a school that gets you through an officer's course, which goes through selection, which puts you basically at a desk. But whenever you start out, you'll start out as a PV1, which is basically unranked. You move on to PV2, which is your standard private. Then you'll move on to your private first class, your specialist, and then your sergeants. Unless you take the college route, in which you'll just become a second lieutenant right off the bat. Then you'll become a first lieutenant, captain, and further on.
What are you right now? What position are you at?
Private first class. Which I've only been in for 2 years, so promotable.
Okay. So you can always work your way up.
Yep.
But can you work your way down?
Yep. If you get caught doing any sort of illicit activities such as drugs, sleeping with lower enlisted soldiers, basically like, I don't know, vehicular manslaughter, they can bust your rank down to a rank below, take away your pay, and make you work for like 40 days with no pay.
Okay. So I know there's two different, positions. There's active guard and then the reserve. Can you elaborate a little bit more on both?
I mean, there's three. There's active duty. There's active duty, active guard, reserves, and then there's, I don't really consider it like a special part, but you're still basically reserves, but you take ADOS orders to go in for long-term duties. That could last like a couple months.
Okay.
Give or take.
Oh, okay. So with reserve, you can have a civilian job, but with active duty, you're more working.
You can have a civilian job on active duty, you just have to have a flexible civilian job or something that you own outside of it. Because on active duty you can get called in whenever, and there's really nothing you can do about it.
What about deployments?
Deployments typically last from around 8 months to a year, sometimes longer. So, when you're deployed, there are rotations on deployments. Let's say you're on the first rotation, you go out first, you do your time, someone comes in to take your place and you go home, you rest for about, I think you're free for for a year or two, and then they'll call you in for another deployment after that's over. So it's like a cycle of every couple years you're doing a deployment and coming home. Because if you stay on deployment for too long, they have soldiers that will go AWOL or will grab some sort of PTSD, some sort of injury that will not allow them to sustain their duties. So that's why they try to bring us home as much as possible and then throw us back out whenever they think we're okay and adjust to the civilian life.
You think, how is it like, okay, say a scenario, if I was a soldier, how would our relationship fluctuate?
It would actually work out pretty well until the deployments start kicking in, unless we're on the same deployments. So we'd have basically the same times to go to work and to get home. And then we'd have basically from 3 o'clock till about 5 in the morning for whatever, sleep, food. Then we'll just go into work, and Army duties whenever you're not really, let's say, infantry, or you're just a desk jockey, you're basically just doing nothing the entire time but paperwork, and after you do your paperwork, you're just hanging out with other soldiers, and it's like really easy money. It's just dedication to have to know that you're going to go get deployed sometime. And
Okay. See, guys, I'm trying to go Air Force, and he's in the Army, so those are two different branches, you guys.
so if you go to another base, because there's not really a lot of Air Force people on Fort Bragg, they'll probably send you to somewhere like Fort Poe, Fort Francis Air Force area. Yeah.
So we'll be away for a little bit, but eventually we'll be coming right back. Unless we were married.
Because if we get married, then they have to move us to a sustainable area where we can continue our lives.
Yeah, so that's how it works, you guys. Military life is up and down. There's some goods, there's some bads. Usually it's just a big, huge cycle altogether. It's just one big cycle.
Yeah.
I mean, soldiers get paid to do their jobs. So does, the commanders. They get orders, and then they tell other people to do the orders. So it's just one big cycle. There's no... Okay, so... Hey guys, so this is where I work. I work at the Children's Place in Holly Springs. And then also I am a sales associate and clerk. But this is pretty much all I do. I pretty much help people at the cashier along with returns and also folding up clothes, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I just started working here. Alright guys, we're back for another interview, this time with my dad.
All I do is take care of my family, and that's it. For a living, I am owner and CEO of First Class Studios and First Class Printing.
Alright.
Yes,
Alright, you guys, so this is my other brother.
That's little brother. 18 years old.
What do you do, Isaiah?
What you mean, like what I do? For fun, hobbies?
Mm-hmm.
I like to make music on my free time. I like music produce. I like to make videos, edit videos, take pictures like a photographer. I kind of want to get into like creative directing a little bit. Started making my own little sets. Well, not make my own sets, but use my surroundings as sets and stuff. So kind of something like that.
Alright. Are you in school right now?
Currently, I'm not in school right now. Graduated. I don't remember June, bro. I already know I graduated this year, but I forgot the month. It's supposed to be a timeline for me.
Are you planning on going back to school, bro?
Yes, I do. That's nasty.
To go pursue what?
You might get back to me on that.
Alright.
I got some time to think about it, so
Undecided at the moment?
undecided at the moment.
Alright. You said before you used to do studio productions and stuff like that. What leads you to come to that point? Why do you want to make an impact?
Well, there's two things I'm really in tune with. That's clothing and music. Those are the two things that you can never ever like. Music's not going nowhere, and we gotta wear clothes every day. So, and why? I used to hoop. I did not take that too serious, so I decided to take my other talents into what I was other good at, which was making music and clothing, fashion. So that's where we stand.
Alright, guys. So again, this is Biggie, my other dog. And again, there's my Skyla. Biggie's 9 months now. It's now December. And then there's Skyla, who's almost 2 years old. Say hey, baby. Ah, look how cute you look. Look at the camera. Anyways, guys, this is my brother Isaiah, and this ends a little short little snippet of an interview, if you want to call it. But, oh, one more question, Isaiah. How do you think society perceives you?
I think you allow people to perceive you on how you do your things. Well, not do your thing, but like I think no mind that. I think people perceive you on how you do in the world and what you do in the world. But cause at the end of the day, it don't matter what you do. I saw this one post. A teacher did 10 multiplication problems, got 9 of them right, 1 wrong, and the whole class laughed at the most simplest one, which was 7 times 1, and she put 9. All the other ones were right, but they laughed at her one mistake. So at the end of the day, at all the accomplishments you make, someone's gonna laugh at your one mistake, no matter what. So you gotta be true, stay true. And you feel me? That's it. You feel me? Subscribe to me on YouTube, Xavier and Eric.